Good afternoon, everybody. This is Drew coming at you here with my first ever Borderlands 2 video. And just before we even go any further, if you just want to go ahead, this is a pretty lengthy video. If you want to go ahead and just skip straight to certain sections of this video, I've divided the video into sections in the description of the video. Click on whatever section it is that's appropriate for you, that's relevant to you, and you can just go ahead and get information that way. Or you can just follow along and watch the video right now. If this is your first time watching the video and you want to go ahead and watch the video in its entirety, by all means do so. So this is my first ever Borderlands 2 video, and I'm starting it off with Vermivorous the Invincible. Vermivorous is definitely my personal favorite boss to fight in this game or to encounter in this game. And I'm gonna share how I solo farm him. Okay, as of right now, and today's March 12th, 2016. I know the game has been out for several years, so a lot of the videos that I watched on YouTube, they no longer apply anymore, or they're not regularly updated. Okay. I know solo farming Vermivorous is pretty insane. Okay, that is definitely not for the sane player. It does take a lot of patience, a lot of time, and a lot of strategy, tactic in order to increase your odds of getting him to spawn solo. Okay, but I'm going to talk about what you can do as of now, as of today, as of 2016 March, what you can do to get this guy to spawn more frequently. Okay, he drops a lot of good loot. Um, just I've watched Broco Gaming. I definitely want to give a shout out to Broco Gaming's video. After watching his video, I was like, man, I want to go ahead and fight or try and spawn Vermivorous so I can get all that loot. The loot obviously that I wanted was the Norfleet. Okay, and I decided to solo farm Vermivorous for Norfleet. Okay, I'm still fairly new to the game. I don't know a bunch of people, and I don't really want to go out and ask people for help because I want to play the game at my own pace. I want to learn it. I want to experience the game my own, and when I'm comfortable, I'll go ahead and do co-op. Okay, I'm not comfortable yet for co-op. I still want to play the game at my own pace on my own. So if you're like that, you want to go ahead and experience the game yourself, you want to play it solo for now, you want to do the lone wolf way, then this video is definitely for you. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump straight into this right away. Where you want to be for this is the Natural Selection Annex. Okay, some of you may already know about this place, but if you don't, this is, in my honest opinion, the best way to solo farm Vermivorous. Okay, you want to be at round 2. Round 2, because round 2 guarantees you an ultimate badass at the end. Okay, you're guaranteed an ultimate badass at the end, and you can get that ultimate badass within 4 to 5 minutes tops. Okay, I have consistently gotten to that ultimate badass in 4 minutes, 4 to 5 minutes. Okay, you can consistently get there within that time. So it's very efficient, very reliable way to get Vermivorous. Okay, so if you've already completed, I'm just going to quickly show how you want to reset, how you're going to reset this. Um, so if you've already completed this round 2, or it's ready to be turned in, he's got the green question mark and it's ready to turn in, I'm going to show you how you can reset that. Okay, now there's 2 ways that you can reset it. The first way is at the title screen, you go to your character, you highlight Ultimate Vault Hunter mode because obviously that's where you want to be. If you're farming Vermivorous, you need to be in Ultimate Vault Hunter mode, and preferably you want to be at level 72, at least level 72. The overpowered levels, OP8 is definitely preferred because that's really the top. That's the max level. That's where really the absolute best gears are. But overpowered levels are optional. You can turn those stuff off. Um, I haven't unlocked them yet. I don't have any desire to unlock them at this time. I'm at level 72, and I'm just gonna, enjoy the game at this level until I want to take it to the next level. So you want to be at level 72. So the first way of resetting round two is this method. I don't recommend this method, but it's totally up to you. You can highlight Ultimate Vault Hunter mode and reset it that way. Okay, is gonna warn you, let you know that you're about to reset it, and you will reset the entire playthrough. That means that you start over from episode one, back in Liarsburg. The claptrap, your first mission basically. Okay, so everything is reset from there. You have to do all those playthroughs all over again. You got to go through episode 2, episode 3, all the way to wildlife preservation. It's just a waste of time. Okay, I really think that Gearbox could have done better here. Could have at least given us the option to reset individual quests instead of the entire playthrough. Okay, so this is a way. Again, it's definitely not recommended. This is a waste of time, in my opinion. But everyone's different. Everyone has their own tastes. So this is not the way that you want to do it if you want to efficiently solo farm Vermivorous. Again, this is what this video is about: is efficiently farming him. So this is one way, but it's definitely not the way that we're going to be doing it. Okay, so if you want to do it the more efficient way, you want to make sure that you remain at the title screen whenever it is that you're about to reset a mission, or you're going to reset anything inside of this game. You want to make sure that you're at the title screen. Okay, make sure that you're at the title screen at all times. That's very important. Okay, so once you're at the title screen, you're going to want to open up a software known as Gibbed Save Editor. Some of you may already know about this. If you do, great. Just open it up. If you don't know about this, there's a link that I provide in the description of the video. Click on that link to learn more about this. You can get it on your computer, get it downloaded. It has all the information for you. But just briefly, it is a must, in my opinion. If you take Borderlands 2 seriously and you want to efficiently farm things, or you want to experience the game to its fullest, then you're going to want this software. Okay, there's a bunch of stuff that it offers you, but for this video, we're just going to focus on resetting a particular mission, and so that we can farm it. So once you have Gibbed open, okay, it's gonna take you to this page by default. The first thing that you always do when you are about to reset anything is you want to open up your character. Okay, that's the first thing you want to do, is make it a habit. The first step is open up your character. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do that right now. At the top where it says new, open, and save, we're going to click on open, obviously. So we're going to click on open. Okay, it's going to bring up this mini window. It's going to always bring up this mini window for you with this folder and a bunch of numbers. We're going to click on that folder with a bunch of numbers. Then it's going to take us to our save datas. Okay, now this is basically your characters. Okay, so the first one is your first character, the second one is your second character. Okay, and if we go back to the game, we'll also see that. We go to select character, and you see my two characters, Toots, which is my level 72 character, and Gauge 9, which is my level 7 character. And I created this character mainly for bank slots. That's pretty much all this character is for, extra bank slots, so that way I can transfer stuff in between my characters that way. So but these are my two characters, okay? And we also saw that in the save editor. It shows you your two characters. So you just simply click on whatever character it is that you want open, which in my case is going to be my first character, Toots, because that's my main character. Alright, and then it's going to open up that character for you. Okay, you can verify that it is your character by clicking on the character tab, and it has the name, as we can see, Toots, and my level 72. That's how you can verify that your character is open, okay, and ready to be resetted. Alright, so once you've gotten your character open up and ready to go, now we're going to reset. Okay, we're going to go ahead and reset round 2 of the Creature Slaughter Dome. Let's go ahead and do this. So let's go ahead and get started with that right now. First thing that you want to do is go to the Raw tab. Okay, so there's a bunch of tabs right beneath the main tab. So you got your general, you've got your character, your vehicle, currency, fast travel, backpack, bank, and your Raw tab. You want to click on the Raw tab. When you click on the Raw tab, it's going to give you a bunch of options. The only thing that we care about right now is the mission playthrough options. So we're going to go ahead and go to mission playthroughs. Then we're going to click one time on the collection. In parentheses, we're going to click on that. So you're going to click one time on that, and it's going to bring up this little box right here, this collection control box that has 3 mission playthrough data. Again, this is basically your playthroughs, your normal playthrough, your true Vault Hunter mode playthrough, and then your ultimate Vault Hunter mode playthrough. Okay. Now, again, we want the ultimate Vault Hunter mode playthrough. So if you want to verify which playthrough it is that you're on, very simple to do. You just click on where it says mission data. You click on this little arrow right here. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and click on that little arrow. And it's going to take us to this page. Okay, it's going to bring up this extra information with a lot of mission data on the left. And basically what you want to do is click on the first mission data. You click on the first mission data, and to the right it has some critical information. Now we're going to focus on 2 pieces of information: the game stage and the mission. Okay, now the game stage is the level of the mission. Okay, and the actual mission itself is episode 1. So in this case, this is the first episode, the first mission of the game. And because of that, so we're at level 1 and it's the first mission of the game, then I know this is my normal playthrough. Okay, I know that's my normal playthrough. True Vault Hunter mode is going to be the same scenario. Okay, the first mission of the game at level 33, I know that this is my true Vault Hunter mode playthrough. Okay, and then lastly, the first mission of the game at level 72, I know now that this is my ultimate Vault Hunter mode playthrough, which is where I want to be. Okay, so that's how you verify which game through mode it is that you're on. Now I know I'm on the ultimate Vault Hunter mode playthrough. Now I have to find the Creature Slaughter Dome for the natural selection annex. Okay, so what I'm going to do is when I'm in my ultimate Vault Hunter mode playthrough, the mission data at the bottom, it's usually the mission data at the bottom. It's not always the case. If it's not, that's fine. Just filter out, just search, click on each of these mission datas until you see where the mission that says Creature Slaughter Dome. Okay, and that number at the end is the round. Okay, that's the round that it is that you want to reset. So in this case, this is round 2, so I want to go ahead and reset round 2. Okay, that's how you can verify which round it is that you're on. So I want to go ahead and reset round 2. Now, to reset it, you look at the status. Look at the status, the actual status itself. See, the status says ready to turn in. Okay, that's the status of our mission. And if we go back to the game, we can also verify that. Okay, we're going to go ahead and go back to the game. And we see Captain Cabrera already has a green question mark. To the top right beneath my map, it says turn in. Okay, the mission is ready to turn in. Alright, but we don't want to turn it in. We want to go ahead and reset it. So we're going to go back to the title screen. Again, always make sure that you're at the title screen when you are resetting. Make sure you're at the title screen. Very important. Okay. So we're going to go back to the title screen, and we're going to go ahead and change that status. We're going to change the status of that to active. Okay. And to do that, you just click on where it says ready to turn in. He says ready to turn in. You're going to click on that, and it's going to bring down a bunch of options for you. Okay, we want to go ahead and select the option that says active. Okay, so the option that says active, that's what we're going to go ahead and select. Okay, so let me go ahead and do that right now. Now we have an active selected. Okay, once we've done that, we're going to go ahead and click on, scroll to the bottom and click on the bottom right where it says OK. Okay, it's going to take us back to this little control to our mission playthrough data. We just click OK. Okay, and then once you click OK, now you want to save the changes that you made in the Gibbed editor. Okay, save the changes that you made in the Gibbed editor. Very important. Save the changes that you made in the Gibbed editor. And to do that, very simple. At the top, right beside Open, okay, where you open up your character, is Save. Okay, really simple. You just click on that. Click on where it says Save. Bear with me here. Once you click Save, it's going to open up the same folder or the same process as you did with the Open. It's going to bring up that folder with a bunch of numbers. You click on that, and it's going to bring up the 2 characters that I have, or however many characters that you have, and you basically select whichever character it is that you want to overwrite. Okay, now it's very important, if you're not comfortable with overwriting your main character, if you're not versed with this yet, I would recommend to create a duplicate character. So what you do to do that, you just right click on whatever character it is that you want to duplicate, and you copy it, and then you paste that character in the same location. Okay, and that way you can create a duplicate character, and you can just overwrite your save data that way. But the more you use Gibbed editor, the more you do this, then the more comfortable you will, and you may not necessarily have to do that. But for me, I'm very comfortable with it, so I'm gonna go ahead and overwrite my my Toots character. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. It's gonna ask you to, it's gonna make sure that you want to, you want to save it over that character. Just click yes, and then once you click yes, everything is done. Okay, it's going to take you back to the main page with your raw data, and that's it. You're done. Everything is saved. The mission is reset. Okay, what you do then is just go back to the game. Okay, don't click on continue. All right, don't click on continue just yet. You want to go ahead and select your character. Select whatever character it is that you have, that you just made the changes to, which in this case was Toots. That's the character that I made my changes to. You select that character. It's going to load it up. You're going to select the playthrough that you edited, which in this case I edited Ultimate Vault Hunter mode. Okay, I'm going to select that. Let me make sure as well. Bear with me here. I'm just going to quickly update something here. Bear with me. Give me 12 seconds, y'all. Alright, now I'm just going to save my changes. Alright, boom. Okay, so again, once you've saved and resetted the mission through Gibbed, you go back to the game on the title screen, select your character, Toots, Ultimate Vault Hunter mode. Now I'm gonna select continue. Okay, and now as you can see, creature slaughter round 2 at the top, it says failed. Captain Cabrera now has an exclamation point, a yellow exclamation point instead of a green question mark, and boom, round 2 is now ready to be played again. Okay, this is how you reset the round 2 of the Slaughterdome through Gibbed Saved Editor. Highly, definitely recommend it. It's a must for sure. Now, you really only need to do this if you get Vermivorous to spawn on the ultimate badass. Okay, so if the ultimate badass at the end spawns into Vermivorous, then obviously you're gonna need to kill him so to get his loot, and then you once you've killed Vermivorous and you get whatever loot it is that he drops, you would just save and quit and go back to the title screen and just repeat the process to reset him that way. Go back into Gibbed and repeat the whole process. Open up the character and select the mission playthrough, select the creature slaughter dome, and reset him. And do that as often as you want until you are satisfied with your Vermivorous spawn. Okay? So that's basically how you reset, um, the rounds. Okay? Now, I'm going to talk about what builds it is that I use for this particular vermivorous spawning. Okay, let me show you that right now. Now I use infinity pistols in my farming because of obvious reasons, really. It has infinite ammo. There's never any reloading. You never reload. It's fast if you have the right accessories equipped. It's a very fast, and it works spectacularly with anarchy, with the right setup. Okay, now I'm pretty sure this isn't the most powerful build for sure for Gauge, but it is a build that works for me. I'm very comfortable with it, and it gets the job done very efficiently for me. Okay, so this is what I use. I use the Burning Infinity, okay, which is fire. You're going to want a fire infinity in here because nothing has shields, so you really don't need any shock type weapons. And the only thing, and most of your enemies in here are all weak to fire. There's all types of flesh enemies. The only enemy in here that isn't that this when it's going to be effective on is the badasses. But even then, with anarchy, you can still take them out very easily with your burning infinity. Okay, so you're gonna want a burning infinity for sure. Um, I also use a um, Maliwan Gentleman Sniper. Okay, these sniper rifles from Maliwan, they have the highest slag chances in the game. Okay, Maliwan sniper rifles, they have the highest slag chance in the game. I was fortunate enough to get this from Warrior. I got a 79.1% slag Snyder rifle. Okay, and I basically use this to quickly slag the badass Varkids. Slag them, get them down real quick, and kill them fast. Okay, you can use whatever it is that you want, but this is what I use. I also have Rubai, Moxie's Rubai pistols. This isn't really necessary. You can do this without this weapon, but it does help. Okay, for those situations where you're low in health and you need to quickly regain health fast. Okay, this is pretty much its only use. All right, it heals you for a certain percentage of damage. I understand it's 12% from all the sources that are saying, but whatever percentage it is, it heals you, and that's really all that matters. It heals you based off of the damage that you do. And lastly, I have a caustic corrosive infinity, and this is basically just for the badasses. Okay, if you the badass Varkids, you want to quickly dispatch them, then you're gonna want a corrosive infinity. Okay, My accessories, I've got the B shield, pretty self-explanatory. I want to get this done as quickly as possible. I need a B shield. I have an alkaline B shield 72 that gives me 656,573,000 per per shot, per bullet that's being fired, and this works excellent with the Infinity since you can just keep firing. This thing is just absolutely monstrous with the B shield. Next, I have the chaotic neutral. This is perhaps the most important thing that you're going to want if you decide to use the Infinity, okay, for your farming. Um, this is obtained from the Tiny Tina DLC through chests. You can farm, the chests in that DLC very efficiently. There's several, methods and ways that you can do, and I'll definitely post a link to how I efficiently do it. There's many routes that you can take in that DLC to get this mod, but basically you want to find a chest in that DLC, and you just farm that chest over and over again. And you really want the chaotic neutral. You want the chaotic neutral because it gives you the magazine size increase, which will allow you to use your infinity pistol with anarchy. Okay, so you can use the infinity pistol with anarchy. That's what the magazine size increase gives you, and also the fire rate. It allows the infinity to fire more bullets is coming out of that infinity, which ultimately will result in more damage being dealt with the gun. Okay, so you definitely want this particular class mod if you want to use anarchy with your infinity. Okay, and obviously again if you want to get this done as efficiently as possible, then you definitely want this class mod. And then my relic, I use the sheriff's badge. Again, increased pistol damage and increased pistol fire rate. Okay, your pistol is the infinity pistol is gonna be firing pretty rapidly. It's gonna be taking stuff out very quickly. With these fire rates. So you've got the sheriff's badge fire rate, and you've got the class mod fire rate. Your infinity is going to be just a machine gun, basically, in here, and it's going to work wonders, absolute wonders in it. Okay, so this is the equipment that I use to farm. Again, this is just one method, one way of doing it. Okay, for my skill points, very important. Once you've collected Death Trap, in Little Big Trouble, I don't really personally don't need this. You really don't need it, but the only thing really that you can put your skill points in is myelin for better slag chance, and I'm sorry, not myelin, more pep for better slag chance, and myelin, to increase your B capacity. But again, it's really up to you. This tree is really irrelevant for me personally. I don't really need this for my Vermivorous spawning. Ordered Chaos. Pretty self-explanatory. This is the must tree. Okay, this is what will make your farming more efficient and go by faster. Okay, with this tree, you're able to get to the ultimate badass in 4 to 5 minutes, easy. Okay, 4 to 5 minutes easy, consistently, and that's tops. All right, so you're guaranteeing yourself to get to that ultimate badass within that time. Okay, you get your two, you get your anarchy, your smarter, lighter, faster, and again, the class mod. This chaotic neutral class mod will overwrite the smarter, lighter, faster, and it allows you to use your infinity pistols. Okay, as you can see, I'm able to use my infinity pistols. Okay, blood-soaked shields, so you can always, as you're killing the baby Varkids or as you're dispatching the small enemies, you're regenerating your shield instantly, and you're always constantly doing maximum damage. Typecasts, iconoclast, very important obviously, so you can gain anarchy stacks quickly as you're killing things in the slaughter dome. I pick annoyed android, so you can. This is up to you. I pick annoyed android, so Death Trap, it can move around or get to me quickly to restore my shield. Okay. I don't recommend pre-shrunk Cyberpunk because you will never exceed 150 stacks of anarchy in here. So, in fact, you will very barely breach 100. Okay, those are very rare circumstances where you will even breach 100, but you will never exceed, or you will never need more than 150 ever. So this is useless. Rational anarchist, obviously, so you can get more anarchy stacks faster. You can get your 25 stacks quickly. And then lastly, the nth degree. You know, I used to think that this skill was useless, but man, was I wrong. This thing right here is what really is gonna. Really, this thing combined with close enough with the infinity is just uh, mind-boggling, and you will see it in action in the videos that I'm about to show. I'm sure most of the veteran Borderlands 2 players, Borderlands 2 Gauge players, probably know about this for sure. But if you don't, definitely want to get this nth degree in here, because with it you don't have to aim. Okay, accuracy is irrelevant, really. Things are just going to be bouncing off of things and just killing things really fast. So definitely want to max out that nth degree. And that's basically ordered chaos for you. Lastly is best friends forever. Obviously, Death Trap is very important in this Vermivorous spawning for the Creature Slaughter Dome for obvious reasons. He's a distraction while you kill things. Okay, so you're going to want Cooking Up Trouble, so that way you constantly regenerate health. When you're using the Infinity Pistol, you're always at full magazine, so you're constantly regenerating health. Very, very helpful. Close enough for the same reasons that you got nth degree. Accuracy is irrelevant, and because you're always firing, bullets are just going to be bouncing off of things, and things are going to die that way. Okay, so very important. Fancy mathematics, obviously. So excuse me. Fancy mathematics. That way you can regenerate your shields in case your health is low. And there will be times where your health is going to be low. You'll see it in the videos that I show. Buck up, so Death Trap can restore your shield. Also very helpful. Upshot Robot. You're going to be killing a lot of baby Varkids, so Death Trap will be out there a lot longer. Unstoppable Force definitely grants you some movement speed as well as causes your shield to regenerate if ever you get hit. Okay. I pick Explosive Clap. It comes in handy, but it's up to you really. Made of sterner stuff, it does help you and Death Trap survive a little bit longer. 20% cooler, definitely a must for sure. You definitely want this maxed out so that way you can get Death Trap out there more often. And obviously sharing is caring to give Death Trap a shield, increasing his survivability. So the two trees for sure that you want are Order Chaos and Best Friends Forever. Best Friends Forever, you pretty much want everything in here except Potent as Pony and the Better Half. If you are using the Infinity Pistols, the same equipments that I'm using, if you're using the same equipments, then you really don't need this. This is useless, and the maximum health, it's really up to you if you want to use that. You can substitute more pep for this if you want more health for greater survivability. Totally up to you. But I personally don't need it for my playstyle because I'm constantly regenerating health, and I have a Rubai which gives me more health, so I don't really need this particular skill. But again, it's up to you. But for sure, for damn sure, you want Ordered Chaos, you want this particular build right here, and you want Best Friends Forever. Alright? And that's pretty much your build. Now we're going to go ahead and actually see all of this in action. So now that we know how to reset, we have the build that we want, okay, and now it's time to go ahead and see all this in action. See how how efficient, how effective you can farm for Vermivorous. Now, um, just real quickly, forgot to mention. So I got this class mod from the Tiny Tail DLC. I got this from the Sheriff of Lynchwood. You can farm her. I farm Hunter Hillquist. He's really efficient, and for me, he is the best way to farm the B Shield. I'm able to I'm able to farm Hunter Hillquist in about 30 seconds. In 30 seconds or less, he's dead. Okay, and I can show how I do it for sure. But Hunter Hellquist for me definitely helps big time. Um, and obviously the Infinity Pistols, I farm Doc Mercy and Tundra Express for my Infinity Pistols. Okay, and I love the Infinity. It works wonders in my Vermivorous spawning. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and watch all of this in action. Okay, so the first video I'm going to show is me actually farming this place. Is a farm run of how I farm this place without Vermi. If Vermi doesn't spawn, then this is how I basically farm the place. I'm going to show you how quickly I get it done, and you'll see, what I do to get to the ultimate badass in about 4 minutes. Okay, so let me pull up that video right now, and you'll be able to see that right away. Okay, I'm just about done. Bear with me, y'all. All right, so we're about to watch this particular video of how this is just a regular run. No vermi spawned. I just blasted through this place, and that was that. Okay, this is in case vermi doesn't spawn. This is basically how long it should take you to get to your ultimate badass. Because remember, we're guaranteed an ultimate badass towards the end, and this is the most efficient way that I've been doing it, for sure. So this is just the first example run of what I do. So let's go ahead and play the video and get started.
Step in the prairie! I got creatures, you got guns. Let's make some money!
Alright, I just want to quickly pause the video here. So as you saw in the first minute and a half of that video, I'm just basically blasting. I'm not even aiming, I'm not doing any of that. I'm just blasting. And a lot of the times I'm just aiming at the floor, letting the bullets bounce off of enemies and killing them pretty quickly. So that's just close enough and the nth degree working in my favor. And as you can also see, I'm building up anarchy stacks with my infinity pistols, making short work out of everybody, and the damage is just gonna keep going up and up and up and up as you kill things. So this build again just works wonders. I don't ever have to worry about reloading, and I never have to worry about ammo. It's just an awesome build. For me, it just works great. I would love to hear if there's any other builds out there that people are using to solo farm Vermivorous, but this is definitely one build that you can use absolutely. That is fail proof, and it works every time, all the time, guaranteed. Okay. Now, in this next part of the video, a tubby is going to come out of here on this third wave, but it's usually going to be a badass Varkid, or sometimes, if you're lucky, it'll be a tubby. Okay, so just so we know, and usually you want to slag the badass Varkids and just get rid of them quickly. Okay, I don't take any chances. I don't take any risks. I just want to get to my guaranteed ultimate badass. Okay, you want to get to the guaranteed ultimate badass. You don't want if you want to sit around and hope and wait for these Varkids to evolve, that's totally your decision. But if you want to farm Vermivorous as efficiently as possible, then you definitely want to do what I'm doing here in this video. And you just want to kill everything and get to the ultimate badass at the end of the video, because that's what efficiency is all about. Get to the guaranteed ultimate badass for sure. Alright, let's go ahead and continue on with the video. Alright, I'm going to quickly pause the video here, and I want to talk about the hiding sections, or the areas of protection in the natural selection annex. I know a lot of people, you aren't familiar with the safe spots or the safe zones, and you definitely need to be aware of your environment when it comes down to the natural selection annex. That's how you increase your survivability. So let me go ahead and go into my game here, and I'm going to quickly talk about the areas of protection from the Varkids. Okay, your first area of protection, and this is basically what you want to use against Vermivorous as well as the ultimate badasses. Okay, so if you have an ultimate badass, or you're lucky enough to get Vermivorous, you want to be inside of this little cage area right here. Okay, and you just want to keep firing to keep their attention. Alright, this is the absolute best safe spot for the ultimate and Vermivorous, and you want to stay right here, because you keep them in this general area. You want to keep the ultimates and you want to keep Vermivorous in this general area. Okay, and by you staying here and constantly firing, you're going to always keep them in this area. You're going to keep their attention, and you're going to keep them on you in this area. Okay, and this thing is basically going to protect you from most of their attacks. Now, obviously, there's a lot of cracks, there's a lot of openings, so certain attacks might hit you. It's not a big deal. Just you can use your rebuy, or excuse me, your rubai to heal yourself, or as you're healing with the infinity, you're always healing with the uh, the cooking up trouble skill. Okay, so with cooking up trouble, you're able to heal yourself with the infinities over time. So, you should rarely die inside of this particular cage, as long as you're watchful of the Varkids, especially Vermivorous. If he's here, his entire body is going to be all over this cage, and you see that in the upcoming videos, and it can get pretty intimidating sometimes. But the cage, you have to trust that the cage will protect you, and as long as you're firing, you're going to always be doing damage and keeping their attention. It's very important that you keep Vermi's attention as well as the ultimate badass, because if you don't, and you're going to see in some of these other videos I'm going to show, if you don't keep their attention, they have a knack of flying over into this area and never to be seen again. Or they could fly in that area and get stuck. Okay, they get stuck there and they won't come out of that area. So if you kill them, their loot is up there and you can't reach. Okay, so to avoid that, just make sure that you stay in this area to keep the ultimates and Vermi's attention on you at all times. And you just use this cage to protect you. So that's basically for the ultimate and Vermi. But for everything else, so the super badass and the badasses and the adults and everything else, the skags or the spiderlings, for everything else besides Vermi and the ultimate badasses, you want to come over here. Okay, you want to come into this area right here, this little crack over here, and you can also go back here. This provides 100% protection against everything, every enemy, and that includes ultimate badasses and Vermivorous. Okay, but you don't want to use this. You don't want to use this on the ultimate and Vermivorouses, because that will cause them to come flying over here, and you risk losing them. Okay, you risk losing their attention because you're not within their you're no longer in their sights and they can't reach you. So you don't want to use this on the ultimates and the Vermis, because those are the two valuable enemies. Those are the enemies that you're after, that you're looking for. But for everything else, you can use this as a protection. And if you feel overwhelmed, or if you're inside this cage and you just don't feel too safe in that cage, then you can come running over here. Okay, and you can just do damage here. You can just fire your infinity and off the wall, and it'll just ricochet and kill things that way. Okay, so these are the two main hiding spots, um, or the two main lines of protection for sure inside of this particular Creature Slaughter Dome Natural Selection Annex. So these are the two that I use, and you'll see me using them inside of the upcoming videos. But there are definitely other hiding spots that you can use for sure. There is the hiding spot here that you can use. It's not as good as the other two, but it does provide some level of protection against most enemies. Okay, there is that. That's one hiding spot right there. There's also another one over here in this little area here. I don't think it's open now. Okay, it's not open now, but generally when you do start the mission, this thing right here is open, and you're able to basically walk into it. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about here, and it's the same thing that goes for this right here. okay, this thing is going to open up, and they provide hiding spots. Okay, but that only happens once you start the mission. So we're going to go ahead and start the mission. Okay, so as you can see, boom, there we go. A larval Varkid just got out of that one, and now it's open. Okay. Same thing goes for that one over there. Okay, that one's gonna get opened up. I believe that one is opened up on the next wave. Okay, so that one's open up, and when they're open up, you can go in them and kind of hide in here. And I believe the other one opens up on the next wave, but I'm gonna find out right now. So that one opens up on the first wave. Let's see when the other one opens up. Okay, well, that one should open up some other time, but you know that those provide additional hiding spots for you for sure. Okay, so those are basically your main hiding spots for sure. But the two main hiding spots that I talked about, those are the hiding spots that you're going to be using in your farming session. Okay, so you want to make sure that you use those two, the cage and the one at the back that provides 100% protection. And again, you'll see me using these hiding spots a lot in these videos. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and go back to the video.
How I do? By my command!
Okay, now there's one more thing I do want to point out here is the Varkid evolutionary time limit, as well as how long it took me here to get to this ultimate badass Varkid. So let me quickly go back here. Alright, so it took me about 2.5 minutes to get to the ultimate badass. Okay, that's how long it took me here from this video. It took me 2.5 minutes to get to that ultimate badass. That's excellent. So basically, for every 3 minutes, you're gonna get an ultimate badass, guaranteed, using this method. Okay, guaranteed ultimate badass in 3 minutes. I don't know about you, but that's definitely the way that you want to farm, that anybody will want to farm for Vermivorous. Okay, and the timers that we see here, there's a time at the left. Okay, the time here at the left, and then the time at the right. The time at the left is the actual timer video, and the time at the right is the full length of the video. So the time at the left, at the bottom left, again, 2 minutes and 35 seconds, and I'm already at the ultimate badass Varkid. Now, once you get to the ultimate badass, or once you're looking for an evolution, you don't want to wait no more than 1 minute. Okay, 1 minute max. You give that Varkid 1 minute to evolve. If he doesn't evolve within that 1 minute, it's time to kill him and move on. so that way you don't waste any more time on that Varkid. And you see me do this all the time in the upcoming videos. You see me wait about a minute. If they don't evolve, I go ahead and kill them. Okay. There are some exceptions to this. Okay. Sometimes your Varkid may bug out or it may glitch. It may not do anything. And if the Varkid is bugged or glitched, that does kind of freeze their time. That does freeze their 1 minute. And so you have to take that into consideration. So if you see that your ultimate or your super badass Varkids are glitched or they're bugged or they're not doing anything, then you want to kind of extend the time a bit and extend it accordingly that way. Okay. Again, it's situational. You would just have to make that determination yourself whenever it is that, if or when that happens. And you see me do this a lot in the upcoming videos again, for sure. But as a general rule, for sure, you don't want to wait no more than 1 minute. Okay, no more than 1 minute for your badass Varkids to evolve, so that way you can get your Vermi. Okay, and you see me do that here. I give this ultimate badass about a minute, and I just go ahead and start killing him right away. Okay. Another thing to note with the ultimate badass at the end is he does spawn more Varkids to kill. Again, if you want to, you can wait and see if any of those Varkids are going to evolve. But again, if you're trying to get Vermivorous to spawn as efficiently as possible, you want to kill everything that comes your way and just focus on that ultimate badass. Okay. You just want to focus on the ultimate badass at the end. That is where most of your Vermivorous spawns are going to happen. Now, in the upcoming videos, you'll see me, the super badass that spawns in round 4. I have been fortunate enough to get him to go to Vermivorous, so it is possible for you to get the super badass to evolve into Vermivorous, but that's very, very unlikely. That's a pretty low chance that will happen. And this, you're taking more of a chance of a risk doing that. And again, it's not going to be very efficient to do that. If you decide to farm the super badass, you can farm the super badass without Gibbed Editor as well. You can just do that just by playing the game. But again, that's not as efficient as farming the ultimate badass. Okay, that's where you want to be. You want to be at the ultimate badass, and that ultimate badass is guaranteed at the end. But I'm going to show some video. I'm going to show a video of me getting the super badass to Vermivorous. Okay, and you'll also see the mistake that I made that you don't want to do yourself, so that way you can get Vermivorous to spawn as efficiently as possible. Let's go back and go into the video.
Set done!
How I do? By my command!
Almost there! Just keep going! You did it! Holy crap! You did it!
All right, 4 minutes and 5 seconds, so essentially 4 minutes, and that ultimate badass didn't evolve into Vermivorous, so no problem. I just go ahead now. I'm going to reset that round just like I showed how to reset it at the beginning of the video. You can you can go back to that section of the video to watch how to reset it. But since I didn't get Vermivorous to spawn this attempt, no problem. I will just go ahead and save and quit, go back to the title screen, and just reset the round and try again. Okay, and this is how I'm able to solo farm Vermivorous efficiently. Okay, now it's not necessarily going to speed up the chances of him spawning, because the chance is still pretty low nonetheless with you being solo. But by you guaranteeing an ultimate badass, you've skipped all that hopes, all that evolutionary time wasting, because you guarantee yourself an ultimate badass at the end. Now you just need to wait and see. Now you just need to see if that ultimate badass is going to evolve into Vermivorous. Okay, so again, we got to the ultimate badass in about 2.5 minutes. Guaranteed ultimate badass in 2.5 minutes, and then from there we just need to see if he's going to evolve. Okay, again, I really don't know of any better way of farming Vermivorous than this. So definitely want to make sure that you get on this train, get on board on this if you want to solo farm Vermi, or even co-op. This is also gonna a very good option. I wouldn't say necessarily it's the best option. I still think Caustic Caverns is a great option for for co-op farming, because of the chrysalisks. They can keep everything distracted while the Varkids are leveling up, because you guys have we have a lot more chances for Vermi to spawn with co-op. But if you don't want to do that, or you want to do this method, which has a guaranteed ultimate badass, no problem. This is definitely the best way to solo farm Vermivorous, hands down, is the natural selection annex. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to watch some videos of me spawning Vermivorous and actually getting his loot, and what I do to farm him. Okay, and how I do to farm him. Again, we're going to see everything in action. Remember, we don't want to wait no more than 1 minute. Okay, 1 minute. We give all of our badasses 1 minute. Okay, to evolve. After that, they deserve to die. They need to die because they're wasting our time. Okay, so let me go ahead. The next video I'm going to show is my super badass. The super badass at round 4. The super badass evolving to Vermivorous. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and show that video. Just bear with me here as I pull that video up. Okay, I'm just going to save it right now. Bear with me. Well, first I'm going to show a video of the super badass going to the ultimate badass. Okay, and how it doesn't take more than 1 minute for that to happen. Okay, so this is the first video of the super badass at round 4 going into ultimate badass. And again, we're going to watch and we're going to see that it does not take more than a minute. A minute is the time frame that you're looking at. Okay, so here it is. We are already at round 4. The super badass is about to come in, and look at the timer at the left, and you'll see once that timer hits 1 minute, he's already evolving. Okay, if he's going to evolve, which he is. So, and this will prove to you that you never really need to wait more than a minute for these Varkids to evolve. 57 seconds into the video, and our super badass has already started to pod up into our ultimate badass pod. 57 seconds into the video, it's less than a minute, and he's already podding up. Okay, again, never need to wait more than a minute for him to evolve. Okay, unfortunately, he did not evolve into Vermivorous, but we're gonna go ahead and watch it anyways.
Big and angry! Incoming!
Alright, now we are 2 minutes and 10 seconds in. So now this ultimate badass has been around now for more than a minute, and he's not showing any signs of evolving into Vermivorous. So at this point, it's a safe bet to go ahead and kill him and move on to the ultimate badass at the end. Okay, so this is just an example. If you get the super badass to evolve into ultimate within a minute, no problem. Now you give the ultimate badass a minute to evolve into Vermivorous, and if he doesn't show any signs that he's going to be evolving, then he needs to die. Okay, and that's exactly what we're going to do right now. So again, that's just our first example of the super badass potting up into the ultimate badass within 1 minute. Now our next video is actually going to show the super badass evolving into Vermivorous. Let's go ahead and pull that up. Alright, just loading up the video right now. Alright, so here we are. Our first video of Vermivorous spawning from our super badass in round 4. Okay, so this is our super badass. So if you decide not to use Gibbed Save Editor and you just want to play the game normally, not a problem. You can just farm the super badass, and if you get Vermi to spawn, so if you get the super badass to evolve into Vermi, then you can just farm him that way. Okay, you can save and quit and repeat the process. Okay, and not have to worry about the save editor. But again, that's not as efficient as using the save editor and farming the ultimate badass also at the end of the video. Okay, but if you don't want to do that, that's definitely your decision. It's everyone's play style is different. But for me, I like to do things the most efficient way possible, and so I use the save editor so that way I can farm the ultimate badass at the end. But let's go ahead and watch this video and see the super badass evolving into Vermivorous.
GG. Death by rope! Wow!
Alright, here's our first Supreme Badass pod. 1 minute and 41 seconds in. So if we notice that the Super Badass potted up into Ultimate at 53 seconds into the video, and if we look at the bottom left, the minute says 1 minute and 41 seconds. So in less than a minute later, our Ultimate Badass has now been potted up. So again, each Varkid takes 1 minute. Each badass should only take a minute to evolve. If he hasn't evolved within that minute, then it's time to kill him and move on. Okay, so here we have our first Supreme Badass pod, our first Vermi coming up. Now this is the mistake that I made the first time the first time I did this and I got Vermi to spawn from the Super Badass. I got intimidated by Vermi's size in the cage, and I decided to run for the more secure cover. Again, you don't want to use this particular safe spot when you're up against Vermivorous, and you're about to see why. He may fly up to the top above you, and he may get stuck, or he may just disappear completely. Okay, again, you're gonna see why you don't want to do this. You don't want to move to this area. You want to stay in the cage and deal with Vermivorous there. But here's what happens if you decide to go to move here. Alrighty, so that is an example of what you don't want to happen when you're up against Vermivorous. As you saw, he got stuck um, up high, up on those walls that I mentioned. That he the ultimates and the and Vermi, if they get up there, they can get stuck up there, and you just don't want that to happen. And also, you don't want to die. That's also very important. I also know that Broco Gaming mentioned that in his video. It's so important not to die at all, because all that time, all that work, your luck of getting Vermivorous is gonna be pissed away. He's not gonna be any way of getting back in there. You're gonna have to start all over. He's gonna be gone, and there goes your opportunity at his loot. Okay, so this is just an example that the super badass can indeed evolve into Vermivorous, so you can farm him. You can definitely do that, but again, it's not the best. The best option is to farm the ultimate badass at the end, because you don't know if the super badass is going to evolve into an ultimate. Anyway, you don't know. There's no guarantees if that's going to happen, but you do have a guaranteed ultimate badass at the end. And so it makes sense to farm the guaranteed ultimate badass instead of the super badass. So with that being said, we're now going to go ahead and go into our first successful um, Vermivorous attempt. This is the ultimate badass at the end, evolving into Vermivorous, and also me successfully killing Vermivorous. Now, contrary to popular belief, it doesn't take too long to kill Vermivorous with. It didn't take too long for me to kill Vermivorous with my build. It took me about 4 minutes, 4 to 5 minutes, to take down Vermi with my build. And again, it's really good build. You're building up Anarchy, and you have infinite ammo with the Infinity, and you also have Ricochet bullet effects. So you're constantly doing damage, and your Anarchy stacks are increasing. So it's not really going to take you very long to take down Vermivorous if he does spawn. Again, generally it should take you about 4 to 5 minutes using this build to take him out. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get to our first successful video of Vermivorous from the Ultimate Badass. Let's go ahead and go straight to that right now. Alright, so here we are, our first successful video of Vermivorous spawning from the Ultimate Badass at the end. Okay, now most of the upcoming videos I'm gonna always start from the Super Badass. Sometimes the Super Badass will evolve to an Ultimate, sometimes it won't. But the Ultimate Badass will always evolve into Vermivorous on these upcoming videos. Again, I've spawned over the course of 3 days. I've gotten 10 Vermivorous totals to spawn. I'm going to show 9 of those videos right now. One of the videos unfortunately got corrupted, but I spawned Vermivorous solo farming him using this natural selection method and the Gibbed Save Editor. I was able to get Vermivorous to spawn basically once every hour of farm. Okay, over the course of 10 hours of farming within 3 days. Okay, that's pretty good. One Vermivorous to spawn solo consistently is excellent. Again, these videos are just proof showing you that it can definitely be done. You can definitely get Vermivorous to spawn a lot more efficiently using these methods. You can see it in action. You can see the build that I'm using in action, and it'll empower you if you wish to solo farm him. Maybe you don't have any friends, or maybe you just want to do it yourself. This is the way to go for sure. Now, using Gauge. Again, I'm a Gauge player. I don't know how to use it in any of the other classes. I don't really have any interest of using those classes. So you would have to figure out whatever build it is that you want to use for your character. But this is what works for me. So let me go ahead and get straight to the ultimate badass spawning into Vermivorous. This is a 9-minute video, but the videos will definitely get lower as they go. So this is the first ultimate badass spawning or evolving into Vermivorous. Just want to quickly point it out that during these runs, I wasn't as aggressive with these ultimate badasses. As we see, 2 minutes and 49 seconds now. You know that ultimate badass should have been dead, but I was. These were still my early days of farming. I think this was my first. This was my first ever successful Vermivorous run. So I was, very cautious with killing things. But the more you do this, the more you understand the timing, the more you realize that you don't necessarily need to wait this long to kill it. 1 minute is the time, like I mentioned. Now I know that for sure after 10 times, after 10 successful solo farming of Vermivorous. If you farm him so successfully, you get him 10 times on your own, you know what type of time frame it is that you need to be working with. We saw that the super badass at the beginning evolved into an ultimate at around 44 seconds, was it? Yeah, he evolved around 44 seconds. Now we're about 2 minutes in, and that ultimate badass is still alive. So obviously, that's a no-no. But take it from me again, 1 minute for each evolution is all that's needed. Alright, so 3 minutes and 13 seconds comes our ultimate badass. So again, it's 1 minute from the moment you get into round 4. The moment that round is activated, that's when the 1 minute begins. Okay, not when the ultimate badass starts attacking. The moment the round starts is when that minute begins. So by 4 minutes and 13 seconds, if that ultimate badass needs to be evolving. Otherwise, it's time to kill it.
Critical kill!
Alright, 3 minutes and 47 seconds. So basically, within 30 seconds, that ultimate badass started potting up. So again, all within a minute. And of course, this time I will be staying in the cage. I will not be going anywhere else because remember, the cage is the best place to deal with the ultimate and Vermi. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and watch how I deal with Vermi um, in the cage. One more thing to note is if the ultimate badass spawns that quickly, that's one of my fastest spawns is 30 seconds, 30 to 35 seconds spawn time is great. If he spawns that quickly and you still have some skags or spiderlings coming in, because those things keep spawning infinitely. They keep spawning as long as Vermi is still alive and the ultimate hasn't spawned any Varkids. If the ultimate badass spawns Varkids and you kill the Varkids, then that will stop the Skags and the Spiderlings from spawning. But if you get the ultimate to evolve, like in this video, to evolve within 30 seconds or so before he spawns Varkids, then this is really the best. That's the best. You're in the best possible situation because now you've got Vermi, plus you've got second win opportunities and anarchy opportunities. So your anarchy is going to keep going up because you're going to be killing off those spiderlings and skags pretty quickly as you're fighting Vermi. And you're going to be seeing all of this right now in this and upcoming videos as well. So as you can see, the fight is really not very difficult. A lot of the times, Vermi is just standing still anyways, just sidelining while you're blasting his face away. But for those times where he is attacking you, the cage will pretty much protect you from most of his attacks. And for those situations where you might get hit, you just heal it off pretty quickly over time. So it's really not a very difficult fight. The hardest thing about it is just getting him to spawn. Also, I'd like to point out that we noticed that Vermi is staying on top of me. Like I mentioned before earlier, as long as you stay in the cage and you're constantly firing at him, he will always stay on top of you and always keep you will always keep his aggro and his attention. He won't fly off and get stuck anywhere, or he won't fly off and wander around the place. You have to make sure you keep firing at him and keep his attention. And we noticed that I kept his attention a lot better this time, because I learned from that mistake in that last video. All right, so very important that you stay in the cage and you constantly fire, which is why the Infinity is such a great weapon choice for this, because you're constantly firing, constant fire at him, and you're always doing damage because bullets are being ricocheted on it. It's just an excellent build to be farming Vermivorous with Gauge.
And the creatures lose!
All right. So unfortunately, I did not get my Norfleet, and that was my first ever successful defeat of Vermivorous, and I got a nasty surprise, corrosive grenade. Didn't get my Norfleet, so no problem. I'm gonna go ahead and continue farming him, which is exactly what you're gonna do. You're gonna keep farming him until you get whatever it is that you want. Which, if you're after a specific type of Norfleet, then you can keep doing that. I don't really recommend, once you've gotten the hang of Vermivorous, I don't really recommend farming him for Norfleets. I haven't really tried Hyperius yet. I'm still fairly new to the game again, but that's who I understand is the next Norfleet source. And he's not like Vermivorous. He's guaranteed to spawn. He's a fixed rate boss, so you can keep farming him over and over again. So I'm gonna try him. I'm pretty sure he will probably be a better option to farm for Norfleets. But if you just like the thrill of the hunt and you just want to see if you can take on Vermivorous by yourself and try and get him to spawn as efficiently as possible, then you can do this method that I've done. So that was our first successful attempt at Vermivorous. Now we're going to go ahead and do our second attempt. We're going to play our second Vermivorous attempt video. Here we go. Okay, and again, most of these videos start, all of these videos start from the super badass. Varkid. I didn't slag him or kill him because again, these were my early days of farming, so I was farming the super badass and the ultimate badass. Again, just to show you that if you don't want to use Gibbed Editor, you can farm the super badass and see if he will evolve into Vermivorous. But again, you definitely want to get the save editor so that way you can farm the ultimate badass at the end and see if he will farm into if he will spawn into Vermivorous. Excuse me. So let's go ahead and go straight to our second um, Vermivorous spawn video. Here we go.
This guy! Eat metal death!
Alright, looks like that is our second super badass that spawned into Vermi. So there you go, the super badasses. For those that want to farm the super badass, there we go. Here's another video of the super badass evolving himself into Vermivorous. So that's always exciting. Alrighty, it would have definitely been badass as hell if I had gotten 2 Vermivorous in that run, but unfortunately the ultimate badass did not evolve into Vermivorous. But, you know, still a good run nonetheless. Definitely one of my best runs is that second attempt at Vermivorous right there. So I got a explosive, nasty surprise grenade mod from Vermi that time. Before we move on to our next video, I just want to quickly talk about my badass rank and what it was during my farming, during these videos that you're watching. What was my badass rank during these farming videos? Now, badass ranks will definitely make a difference for sure. It improves the efficiency and it makes things easier. Okay, so you definitely want to make sure that you invest time into this system, and if it gets high enough, then you can definitely potentially take Vermi down in maybe seconds. Okay, so but that requires a lot of time invested into the game. But this is basically my badass rank and the stat bonuses that I've received during my farming of Vermivorous. But you know, if you really want to challenge yourself and see how good you really are, you can disable it and, you know, take off a few things just to see, just again test yourself, challenge yourself, which I will eventually do because I love a challenge. I've always loved challenges. I'll definitely disable it and see how well I can survive against Vermi with it. But you know, that's just if you want to, you know, really, that's just for shits and giggles. If you want to really go be as efficient as possible, then you need to turn this on so that way you can get the job done as quickly as possible. Okay, so that's basically the badass ranking that I have during this farming session, and I do hope to create a video of how I intend to farm badass ranks, because I do eventually want to get to a point where my character is one-shotting things easy. So I know that's going to take a lot of work, but I'm definitely up for the challenge. So that's definitely a little bit about my badass ranking. Let's go ahead and go on to our third Vermivorous attempt. I'm going to go ahead and go there right now to our third Vermivorous attempt. Alright, here's our third Vermivorous attempt. Now, if you also notice, this video is shorter. It's 6.5 minutes versus the 9-minute videos that we had in the first two, and that's because I'm getting a hang of it. I'm getting a hang of the farming, and I understand the time frame, and that I only need to wait 1 minute for each Varkid evolution stage. So again, the more you do this, the more you understand that that 1 minute rule is very important. 1 minute for each Varkid. If it doesn't, for each badass Varkid, if it hasn't evolved to its next level within a minute, then it's time to die. Okay, so as long as you obey that 1 minute rule, then you're going to be as efficient as possible to get Vermivorous. Just want to also point out one other thing. You may see me do it all the time here in the video. It's very important to pay attention to your map, especially when you're up against Vermi in the cage. That's how I'm able to track his movements and know where he's at during this. You watch the red dot and see where it's at, and you basically follow it, and that's how you know his location while he's in the air. So make sure that you at all times watch the red dot and make sure that your character is facing in conjunction to that red dot, so that way you're not caught off surprise or caught off guard while you're facing him.
You just made me $1,000!
Alright, so I got a candy cane uh, legendary skin on that third attempt. So let's go ahead and go to our fourth attempt. Still no Norfleet yet, but we're going to go ahead and go to our fourth attempt and see what we can get. Alright, so here is our fourth attempt at Vermivorous. One other thing I want to point out is the super badasses can be quite annoying. They may kind of sort of glitch out while they're burrowed underneath the ground, and you see in this video that he hasn't come up instantly yet. So you may have to go out there and tread lightly to try and get him back up. Just be watchful. Make sure that your shield is max and you're at max HP before you go out there, because he could come up on the ground and get you by surprise. So this is one really annoying characteristic of the super badass that you have to be careful of. If he burrows underneath the ground and doesn't come back up, you may have to go out and about and kind of make him come up by getting into close proximity. So just be very mindful of that. So the fourth attempt is actually when I started using the Rubai to kind of help me out a bit. But in the last 3 videos, you notice I didn't use the Moxie Rubai weapon to heal myself. So again, it's not really necessary for this, but it definitely does make it easier for damn sure. So I definitely recommend getting that Rubai weapon and making sure that it's a part of your inventory. One thing to note, and one thing that you'll also see me do, is while I'm waiting for that ultimate badass to evolve into Vermi, I'm killing the skags and the spiderlings that spawn, so that way I can build up some anarchy stacks and make my fight with Vermi easier. So I definitely recommend doing that as well while you're waiting for the ultimate badass to evolve. Just go ahead and keep killing the skags and the spiderlings. They keep spawning infinitely until more Varkids are summoned. But until then, just keep killing them and just build up your anarchy stack, so that way, if he does evolve into Vermi, you're ready to take him down. So as you see here, I'm just lighting up Vermi's ass right now with these bullets, and that's basically his weak spot, is the tail and those little orbs, those little yellow orbs that's on his body. That's where the critical areas are at. So that's where you want to be aiming at, to making sure that you're maximizing your damage against them. Alright, still no Norfleet weapon on my 4th attempt, but not a problem. That's definitely, that happens, as you're farming this guy, you may not get exactly what you want. So you just keep at it, keep doing it, keep running him, keep farming him until you get what you want. So let's go ahead and move on to our 5th attempt and see what we get. This is the kind of insanity that you gotta have if you want to solo farm Vermivorous. So it's definitely not for the sane player, I can assure you that. But if it's something that's up your alley, then this is definitely the method that you want to do for sure if you want to solo farm him. Okay. So here we are with our 5th attempt. Our 5th Vermivorous attempt. Let's see what we get. Yes, your eyes aren't fooling you. You just saw me equip the Vault Hunter's Relic. I know. There's a lot of debate about that particular relic, see whether or not it's useless, but hey, you know, what the hell, right? You know, 5% increase, better than nothing. So, but it's gonna be the only video that you actually see me equipping it. It's not something that obviously I recommend to always equip, but if you have it and you're hunting for loot, it's there. It's an option to be used, so why not? But anyways, back to the video. Yeah, I've been getting nothing but nasty surprises from Vermi during my farm sessions with him. Pretty ridiculous, but that's just the RNG system for you. Doesn't always work in your favor, so whenever it is that it doesn't, not a problem. Just, you know, get back in there. That's what farming is all about, is getting back into the groove. Let's go ahead and go into our sixth attempt. Sixth attempt at the Norfleet. Let's go ahead and go to it. Straight to it. Let's do it. Here we go. Okay. Here we are with our sixth attempt. This one is 5 minutes and 53 seconds, as we see at the bottom right. Definitely one of my faster videos, or faster runs of Vermi, for sure. And again, as you do this and you become better at it, you understand the timing, you obey the 1 minute rule for each Varkid, it just gets faster and faster and more efficient of solo farming Vermivorous. Let's go ahead and get straight to it. Alright, got a lovely Corpse Legendary skin on that run. That's not bad, but not quite what we want. We're looking for a Norfleet. That's what I was farming for. Looking for a Norfleet. Here we are, 7th attempt at Vermi. Let's see what we get. Alright, and here's the 7th attempt at Vermi. Let's see what drops. and another customization legendary skin is dropped from Vermi. Alright, we're now down to our final Vermi attempt number 8, and this is indeed the Norfleet dropped run. You can best believe I was shitting myself when I finally got it. So, and you definitely will too, if you ever decide to solo farm him and you're farming him for this long and it finally drops. It is the most satisfying feeling that you can get, is farming something so long and then you finally get it. That's really the thrill of farming bosses, or just farming in general. You keep doing it and you do it and you do it and you do it and you don't stop doing it until you get what you want. And when you finally get what you want, the gratification and the satisfaction of finally getting it is just indescribable. And all the things that you learn as well during your farming, you know, when you farm, you find the most effective way to get the job done. It ultimately makes you a better player. So I'm very thankful for you know, all of the things that I learned and discovered during these runs, because now I'm a more efficient vermivorous farming player. So I can do it I can either do it myself alone, or I can also do it with other people. So either way it goes, I'm always going to be very successful at farming vermivorous. So and I definitely wish the same for everyone else that's watching this video. So finally moving on to our last attempt at vermivorous. Okay, our final attempt at vermivorous. Alright, this one is a 10-minute video, but it is certainly worth every minute of watching. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright, now I remember why this video is 10 minutes. Okay, so in this situation right here, I actually paused the video for about maybe a minute and a half to go enter the door. and also towards the end of the video, the ultimate badass glitched out, which you'll also see as well, and that added some extra time onto the video as well. So here we see me pausing the video to enter the door, so just bear with me while that happens.
Shut up! You're halfway through it!
Alright, so we got to the ultimate badass at 3 minutes and 47 seconds. Now this is one of those exceptions where the 1 minute rule is going to be, this is going to be an exception to that particular rule, and you'll see why. The ultimate badass kind of glitched out on us a little bit, but it ultimately did evolve, I think around the 2.5 minute mark. But again, these are the only exception to the 1 minute rule, is if your Bad-ass Varkid is bugged or glitched or not doing something. If either stuck and they're not actively in combat, then obviously that's going to add on to the time. And you'll see an example of this here in just a few. So let's keep that in mind. 3 minutes and 47 seconds is when the ultimate badass came out. Alright, so here we are at about a minute later, and the ultimate Varkid, what's happening here is it wants to evolve, but it's not on the ground. It landed on the pipes, and so it's kind of glitched. It's trying to evolve, and it's glitched out, and that's what's going to be adding on to our time here. And you'll see that. So you always want to make sure that your Varkid is on the ground. Always make sure that your Varkid is on the ground, on actual solid ground, ready to evolve. Otherwise, this is what's going to happen. because he's glitched and bugged, obviously you don't want to kill him because he's glitched and bugged. So you want to give him the fair 1 minute that he deserves in order to evolve. So here, I'm just dwindling down his life, so that way, in case he doesn't evolve, he's ready to die. But I won't know until he's actually actively out of the glitch and bugged phase. And there he goes, evolving into the Supreme Badass, aka Vermivorous. Since he is now on the ground, on solid floor, now he's got the chance to evolve. And this is just, again, a small example of what happens, it's a minor exception to the 1 minute rule. So those bugs or glitches that you may see every now and then with your Varkids, make sure you give your Varkids a fair amount of time, a fair 1 minute of constant activity, of constantly being out doing something, and then you can go in and kill them. If anything is bugged out or glitched out, you have to go ahead and extend the time and allow them to evolve. So here we are at, what, we said 3:47, so we're almost at 3 minutes later, and our ultimate badass is now evolving. So again, always give your Varkid a fair 1 minute. If they're bugged out or glitched out, then you would have to accommodate that accordingly. And if you do that, then things like this will happen. You may get a chance, your ultimate badass Varkid may get a chance to evolve.
Eat metal death!
shock nor fleet. There you have it, folks. After 8, well, really 10, but so after 8 runs, 8 attempts, it's really more than that. I'm only showing the runs where he did farm. There have been several hundreds of runs I ran with him not farm with Vermivorous not spawning at all. But I'm just showing the ones where he did spawn. So out of the hundreds of well, I'm being sarcastic, obviously. I would say within those 3 days, I've probably farmed him. I did about maybe 50 runs, 50 or 60 runs, and out of those 50 or 60 runs, I got him to spawn 10 times. Okay, total of 10 times. I've showed you 9 Vermivorous videos. I'm going to show the 10th one here, and that one is actually with the ultimate evolving into Vermi, but he never actually got out of the pod, and that will happen. I'm going to show that video here in just a second, but here you have it. The Prudential Shock Nor Fleet finally dropped for me from Vermi, and I was very excited, very happy, and very satisfied. I finally got what I wanted from Vermivorous. Will I do this again? Probably not. It's definitely not something that is something you want to keep doing over and over and over and over again. But if you want the thrill of the hunt, or you would like to challenge yourself, maybe you want to just solo farm him on your own, then this would be your absolute best option. Hands down is the Natural Selection Annex. You've seen the videos, you see the build, you see what it's capable of. You see how fast you can get Vermivorous to spawn on your own without anyone to help you. Okay, so if you can do this, solo, you just imagine co-op. I'm pretty sure this place is going to be filled with Vermivorous if you've got friends tagging along, because now your chances of getting him to spawn is increasing the more people you have. So with 4 people, it's quite possible you could have a bunch of Vermivorous all over the place. Then it's going to get pretty crazy then. But if you don't have any friends, or you don't want to do it, or you just prefer doing it solo, then this is definitely the way to go. So definitely very satisfied I finally got a Norfleet here, for sure. Now let me quickly show one last thing, and this is the Vermivorous spawn, but he didn't get out of the pod. Hopefully this doesn't happen to you, but this is actually my 10th. This is number 10, the 10th spawn that I got for Vermi. Alrighty, so there you have it. That was the Supreme Badass Pod, but unfortunately, Vermi did not pop out of it. At least now we know that you have to fight him. You have to actually kill Vermi and not destroy his pod in order to get any loot. So at least I got that much out of him. But you know that rarely happens. If it does, then you're basically screwed. If it doesn't, and usually it doesn't, then you should be good to go. You should just pop out of his pod, ready to fight you. But that's just one example of another unfortunate circumstance during my Vermivorous farming runs, and that wasn't the last attempt, but that was one of my runs during my 10 Vermi spawns. So there you have it. Those are that was my 10 Vermi spawns over the last 2 to 3 days. That's all I've been doing, and now I'm pretty satisfied with it. I'm very comfortable with Vermi, and this is definitely the only way that I would be solo farming Vermi. All other methods are just nowhere near as efficient as this. For damn sure. So and I definitely encourage anyone watching this video or interested in solo farming or even farming Vermi for that matter, highly recommend the Natural Selection Annex. It is a DLC, and I believe it also comes with the Game of the Year, which is what I have, the Game of the Year edition of the game. So as long as you have access to it, then you can definitely get it resetted. Again, just follow the reset instructions that I mentioned earlier. Make sure you follow everything to the T. Okay, mistakes happen. If you do make a mistake or whatnot, and you're just getting confused, you can definitely post a question or a comment on the video, and I'll definitely get back with it. I'm definitely not a veteran Gibbed player, so you can definitely ask around on the veteran Gibbs, and they will be better able to answer you. But for sure, as far as when it comes to resetting missions or individual missions, I'm pretty well versed with that. I'm very comfortable with it. I was able to successfully farm Vermi alone using it and the Natural Selection Annex. So it's definitely a wonderful software. I definitely will be making some donations over to the Gib guy for developing that. Because, man, if it wasn't for that, it would be hell farming Vermi. It would be more difficult for sure. You can still do it, like I said. You can still do the super badass way. I showed you that he does evolve into Vermi. He can. But out of the 10 Vermivorous spawns that I've had, 8 of them were from the Ultimate Badasses. Okay, the Ultimate Badass at the end were evolved the most, and that makes sense. Okay, it's just one evolution versus any more evolutions. Okay, so you want to be evolving the Ultimate Badass, and that's really what you want to be farming. So get the Gibbed Save Editor. It's in the link on the character description, and it will definitely improve your Vermivorous experience a lot. I want to go ahead and close this video just by, if you guys haven't already tell, I am a PC player on Steam. That's the console or the platform that I'm playing on is PC Steam. So for those of you who are interested, my Steam name is Big Daddy Drew, just as well as my YouTube name, Big Daddy Drew. You're definitely welcome to leave a comment if you want to play. Currently a hardcore Borderlands 2 player. I anticipate to be playing this game at least for the next couple months hardcore. It means I'm online daily. I'm always running stuff. I'm a level 72, as you can see. I haven't unlocked the overpowered levels yet. I don't really have any desire to do so at the moment. I want to experience the game at level 72, and then once I'm ready, I'll go ahead and unlock the overpowered levels and really start the farming then. Because at overpower 8, that's when I'm gonna really start farming for real. And now that I know, and the Norfleet will definitely be one of them for sure. So if I wanted to farm Vermi, now I know how to do that efficiently and consistently. So again, PC, Steam. The Steam name is Big Daddy Drew as well, my YouTube name. Definitely, I know this video will help somebody out there. May not help everybody. and that's not my intention, is to help every single person, but I do want to help somebody out there, and that was the purpose of this video, is to show whoever that other person is out there that wants to farm Vermivorous, that is after him, would like to thrill of the hunt, but don't really want to waste too much time with it. You want to solo farm it, maybe you want the challenge of doing so, then this will definitely improve your life and make the life a lot more efficient and easier to do, so that way you can get him to spawn more quickly, okay, or quicker for that matter. Um, Send a like, send a comment. Just let me know if this video impacts your life in any way positive at all. Please do not post anything negative on the video. Your comments will be promptly removed if you post any derogatory or negative feedback. If you disagree with the methods and you want to constructively share that, by all means, that's welcome. But any derogatory or just downright bad comment that's posted on the video will be promptly removed. Otherwise, I encourage your comments. Send a like, send a dislike, whatever the case may be. Reach out to me. I'm definitely interested in playing with more people like me that really loves playing the game and are actively playing the game and are looking for people to play the game. Okay. With that being said, again, my name is Drew. Hope to meet more Borderlands 2 players out there, and hopefully this video impacts you all positively and in a very good way. With that being said, as always, as I say in my DC Universe videos, stay competent, have fun, and hope to see everybody out there in the game.